Hello everybody, welcome to this episode. In this episode we are going to grow bulbs for spring. So now is the time for sowing so that we reap the benefits of beautiful scented flowers later. I'm quite late, we're already in January. For spring bulbs I'm supposed to plant it in somewhere from October, November, December. I'm a bit late, but better late than never. So today we have different colors of tulips. We have hyacinths. I also have grape hyacinths here, daffodil that we are going to plant, some alliums. And so let's just get started with it. I have this grow bag that I'm going to use. So my plan is kind of make something like a runabout in my lawn with this on a higher elevated table, and on a smaller table I have smaller ones there so that I can sit by it during spring and enjoy it. Let's get right to it. Show you some colors. The grape hyacinths are way shorter, I think about 20 centimeters. Yes, so we are just going to go that at the outer edge, followed by followed by normal hyacinths. Hyacinths are up to 25, so that is a bit short, but it has a really nice smell. So followed by that as well, and then I'm going to put in some daffodils. Tulips. So these tulip are also really short. They are up to 20 centimeters, so this would form the outer perimeter. And towards the inside I have different length of tulips. This is up to 50 cm, so this will go into the inner perimeter, so it forms like a kind of cascading effect. So the 50 centimeters in the middle, followed by some that goes up to 40. I believe these are examples of that. Then this will go in the middle section. And then we also have the daffodils that we would have to put inside. So let's get started. I have my gloves, my working gloves that I always use. Just put them on just for all your soil purposes and for painting and other DIY activity I do in my garden. I have a number of soil, and then I have a pair of scissors. Since I don't want, this is up to 30 centimeters, and for the tulips and daffodil they need a depth of about 15. I don't want the go back to be too heavy when I try to lift it up later on. So I'm just going to fill it with some paper, and then I'll put the soil on top. So I have some paper that I got from delivery that I'm going to cut. I'll just take off my gloves and cut these first into our go bag. I wanted a circular thing so that it makes this cascading effect, so I'm not using my regular rectangular or square shaped go bags. And it was a bit difficult to find the one that worked for the diameter. I was looking at something around 70. I couldn't. I had a go bag of like 130, which is really large for me to put on anything during the spring and for me to carry around if I want to move it. So I ended up with this that is 60, so we are just going to make do of that. 60 and 70 is not too much. 80 also didn't fit my table, so that I can have this like on an elevated level, and then I have like some round ones on the lower elevations on it as well. So I'm just going to cut quite a bit. Let me just cut it into large chunks. It's just going to form the base so that it's easy for me to put soil on top, and so that it's not too heavy, because it's not going to have like a fixed plate on this table. I'm just going to take it out until the plants come out sometime in March and in April. Then I'll put it on the table. So as the Bible says, there's a time to grow, a time to reap. And I'm just putting in all this hard work so that I can enjoy the beautiful flowers. It really helps with stress if you have family, if you have a stressful job, you want to do some activities, especially in the cold, because usually in the cold I never want to come out. It's like -1 right now. It's really cold and there is vapor coming from my mouth. I don't know whether it comes in the camera. So I'm in my shed outside. I just have this how do you call it, tarpaulin material that covers the shed for some sides, just to block out some of the cold, but it's quite cold, so usually I don't have motivation to come out to do anything. But by adopting gardening, it helps me to come out in the winter when it's cold, and I don't think I would ever get used to the cold. But then I know I'm looking forward to something in the spring. When it springs out, it's so beautiful, and this is also a good activity for me to do after work, so that I'm not always on the screen, which is not good for my eyes, for your morale. So I do this kind of physical activities, and then I know I'll reap the benefits later. Okay, this will take forever, so why don't I just make it big? I think this is, yeah. I can fill everything with soil, but then it's going to be heavy for me to lift it and place it so the flowers come out. And then when I want to lift it also, it's more like too much hassle. I have a grow bag that was very heavy for me to lift and kind of put it around. So I think this is a good compromise. Just put in a bit of paper to make it lightweight, and then top it up with soil. So put it also in your comments what you are doing in these times. Either you are in a temperate zone or you are in the tropics. In the tropics, I know it's Harmattan time, so it's cold also and dry and very sunny. And then in, yeah, those of us close to the North Pole, it's really cold here. So what are you also doing to make yourself happy? This is delayed gratification. Since for this delayed gratification, I get to enjoy all these beautiful scents in spring when everything comes up, which is so pretty that it's worth me coming out in this cold. And there is like so much color, guys. The hyacinth has a beautiful smell when they come up there. Grape hyacinths also, the tulips don't have a smell, and neither do the daffodils, but these really smell amazing. So I have a couple of them that we are going to put in, and then it's worth it. So this is our bag of soil. We have poured soil. I'm just going to quickly cut it. Get my gloves again, so that the soil doesn't go into my fingers and it takes days for me to clean everything. So yeah, if you see it, we have the pot ground soil on top of the paper. I hope you can, yeah, see it. And then I'm just going to spread it and get more. Maybe we need about 3-4 bags. I'm going to fill the side with this so that the paper is also evenly distributed. My son always asks me, why do we need this amount of flowers in our house? And then I say to him always, because it makes me so much happy. And in life, yeah, we have to be happy. I never imagined myself as somebody who will be doing gardening. But now that I live in Europe for a couple of years, sometimes it can become so quiet and lonely. Even if you have your family here, the weather in winter is depressing. So these are things I do to keep myself busy. Previously, all I did was to put artificial flowers around because I thought I never had the time for it. But then you can always make time for something new, something that brings you a lot of joy. It's really worth it for your mental health, for your family, so that you can also be there for your family. One of the best things I've discovered is gardening. And then walking around from spring, when everything comes up. Even in winter, we have some plants that are blooming, some flowers that are blooming, berries. Not so much like in spring and in summer, but when I go around walking and look at the neighbors and on people's streets and in front of their houses, then it's really nice. So whatever little space you have, let's see. Yeah, it's getting heavy, as I mentioned, and now I think maybe I needed more paper because I don't want it to be really heavy for me to lift, but then that's okay. So a little information about the tulips, if you are curious. So the tulips, they are all perennial, so meaning they will come back year after year. But the tulips would go for a maximum of 2-3 years, and then the flowers will become more smaller and smaller. So then it's worth it. Either after it flowers in April, you can just throw it away, or you can wait for the green leaves to die off, take it from the ground or from the grow bag, store it for the next year, and then for the next year you use for like 2 years, then you just now throw it away. And that's the reason why I'm putting it in the grow bag instead of in the ground, because in the previous years when I had tulips and then I had to basically take it out after it has bloomed and the flowers and the leaves had turned brown, as I tried to take them from the ground, I kind of destroyed a lot of them. And also I don't have too much space because I live in Europe and or let me say I live in Netherlands, and we don't have that much space as compared to like in US. So your plot size is quite small, and I want to have flowers and plants all year round. Then I don't tend to have space, and I need space for my kids to run around also. So the grow bag is the solution. I'm just going to put it in here, and then afterwards, when it's done blooming and it's gone brown, I can just easily go in and pick it out. And I could be nursing something else that I put in from in spring that will come up in summer or in autumn. So this is my first attempt, because last I put it in the ground, but then when it's after spring, I couldn't just leave it in the ground. I wanted to plant something else in that space because I have limited space. The land area in the Netherlands is really small. It's a small country, so it's really densely populated. And yeah, we don't have a lot in space. Let's see. Yeah, I'm thinking to maybe add one more. So this is 30 cm. I need a depth of about 15 max. So let me just add one more to it, and let's see. So this is where we are at. the 20 centimeters would have to, I really need to fill it a bit more. So I'm just going to pull it aside quickly, add more paper. I think that when it soil was on top of the paper, then I realized I have so little paper. But I have a lot of paper from delivery, so the scissors, no, I can't find. It's so cold that my nose waters. But then it will all be worth it in spring when I'm sitting outside in my garden and the sun is out. For the smell, for the color, for insects and bugs. It also helps with the ecology. So at least here in Rotterdam, the municipality also has some incentive if you want to grow some plants. You can either come together with your neighbors and they can give you some budget to create a garden. So you dig up some of your towels from the back of your house, and then basically you would replace it with soil. You can do it on your own, or if you want some plants, they can give you native plants that is good for the ecosystem, for the insects and bugs here, and the plants as well, so that you don't have invading plant species. They help you with that, which is really good. I don't know about where you are, whether you have that as well. And if you remove some towels to create space for a garden, you can also book an appointment and they come and pick up the towels for free, and the soil, the municipality comes to pick it up. So which is a very good initiative, because then it's going to cost you, it was going to cost you to remove the towels and also get a company to come for the garden towels basically. So this is really good, which can be expensive, that the municipality is doing that. And this is also helping with the climate change, because Netherlands is a wet area and it's low lying, so way below sea level, so it can easily get flooded. And now that there is climate change, there is more rain. If you remove some of your garden towels and you have the best soil, when it rains, it's easy for the rain to just go into the soil that needs to run over the towels, and which can put stress on the sewage system. So these are the measures the municipality is putting in place to help with climate change, for the ecology, for plant species, for bugs, insects. So put in the comments what your municipality or your city or your province is also doing to help with climate change, by help gardeners with information, maybe with money, incentive and others. Let me just hear from you in the comments. In the meantime, don't forget to like and subscribe. Oh, I should have done a lot more of this. Yeah, this was Okay, I think it's a good point. I'm going to add one more bag of soil. Now I'm hoping I didn't put this up the scissors. I'm hoping I didn't put it in the soil so that now I've lost it. Okay. So after the bulbs, I get the flowers for the tulips, daffodils, the grape hyacinths, and the hyacinths. When I take it out, which would be maybe maybe sometime in May, then I'm planning on putting some summer annuals in this so that I can also enjoy it in the summer, like Benjamin Buttons, marigolds, some annuals as well, so that I would have an all year use for the grow bag and the soil. So it's not just going to be for the spring, but then so if you look here, this is what we have, which is almost to the edge. Now it's at a very good point, I think, for everything. I'm not sure whether to top it off a bit more. Let's see. Okay, I'll just plant this and I'll top it off with soil when I'm done. So that is what I will do. I think that is the best thing. So now we are going to start with the outer perimeter. And I'm going to, this one is 25. I'm going to start with the one that was 20, which is the grape hyacinth. Just going to pour the bulb down. Turn, yeah. So this is how it looks like. They are really tiny, like shallots, the shallots onions. So I'm just going to go around the edges and then basically just put it around the edges, because this is going to be really the shortest one. At this point I don't have an option than to take off my gloves. Maybe I can go for another type of gloves so that I cannot use this in the soil. It doesn't really poke well into the soil. So I'll be back. Okay, so I'm back with a different set of gloves. This is easier to use when I want to put my hand in the soil to poke holes so that I can plant the bulbs. And as I was saying, with just push this a bit. So just use your middle finger, just poke a hole, and each one will come with instructions. This one has to go to a depth of 10 centimeters, and then I can space it out like 8 centimeters. So it's, yes, it's quite small. If you see it from here, they are quite small. And this is the picture, this is the outcome, 20 centimeters. So I'm just going to heat the soil a bit more to the ends so that they will come a bit up of this bag at the end of the day. And I might need to add some more soil in the middle, but then that will be okay. So we just go around, try to find 10 centimeters with a distance of 8. And for bulbs, one thing you have to notice, you have to find the bottom where it's flat, and then that has to go into the soil. And this is the tip, so this is where the shoot comes from. If you put that in the soil, it is not going to come out. So that's something you have to keep in mind. And if you can't find the bottom, just put it on the side. The plant would itself figure out how to come up, but then if you put it facing down, then unfortunately you've lost it and it's not going to germinate, because it's going to germinate downwards and it will never get sunlight. So that's it. Some of the bulbs are growing like smaller ones, so for those I have to be a bit careful when I'm putting it in the soil so that it creates more space so it doesn't break off easily. And one thing with these spring bulbs is they need a chilling time. Depending on the type, usually about 6 to 8 weeks before it comes up. So for the daffodils, I have seen some, I think as early as end of February, not in a greenhouse but just on the roadside, so I'm quite late. But then I'm hoping now that it's getting really cold, it's still going to be okay, because now we are getting in the minus degrees in Celsius. Though it wouldn't have like too much time to do the chilling before. I guess it still be okay, because I tried to grow some of the daffodils beforehand, which is about 2 weeks ago, in this type of containers to line the edge of my garden border. And then now I have I was waiting for this round grow bag, because I had one which I had planned to use, but then when I measured it or looked at the packaging details, the diameter was 138, which is too much. It's too large. I plan to put it on a table and I cannot kind of lift it. It's going to be cumbersome to lift. And also, yeah, I don't have a table that it will fit on unless this one, but I use this one for my DIY, so it wouldn't have a permanent place on this table. So May, so I decided to buy a smaller go bag, and here we are that I have the delivery for. What I'm trying to do is, if I poke in the soil and I kind of feel there is the paper I put in there, I try to poke a hole in the paper so that I can let it go a bit deeper. Okay, so we are done with one level. I can go like on a second round of the hyacinths, and the paper is going to kind of loosen up anyway as water gets to it. So as it's going to rain over the period, the paper can soften up for the root to go in. But just to be on the safe side, especially the grape hyacinth, since it doesn't really have like thick root system, I'm just poking holes in it. Okay, for the ones I poured, I think I'm kind of done with everything, if I'm not mistaken. I still have some though, because this one was like 75 in the packaging. I'm going to go a second round, and I can plant some in these planters as well. I already did also when I planted the daffodils, but I can always go in and add more to it if I have excess. Okay, I think the grape hyacinths are enough. The next thing I'm going to plant are the hyacinths themselves. I have 3 colors which you pair very well together. So the whole idea is it should be like purple, pink, violet, those kind of colors at the end of the day mostly. And then I'll have like a sea of daffodils as well. So yeah, that is the plan. So I'll go in with the hyacinths and just stir it up. These are the sizes of the hyacinth. It looks like onions, the red onions. So for that also, I go in, I make enough space for it, and for that the depth is up to 15 cm, so this needs to go down, and we can space it. That is really okay, 15 cm as well. So I would have it closer, about 10 cm, because we are going to plant a lot of things together. and the smell of the hyacinth is heavenly. When I grew it last year. I didn't know how much it smelled good, and I was walking around the garden and wondering, what is that smell, with my husband, and then it was the hyacinth. So this time I'm planting it on an elevated level so that I can enjoy the smell. So the plant is on the table so that I can sit by it and just smell the hyacinth in April, when the sun is finally coming up and the weather it's going to be cold, but then not as cold as this. And I have some hyacinth already planted before, also in the front side of my garden. So that is done. We are going to go with next these kind of tulips. This is up to a height of 20 centimeters, so these are short, and then 7 centimeters, that is the depth, and for the spacing is 5 centimeters. So I believe these are really small when they come up compared to the regular tulips. So basically these are the sizes. If you see it in the palm of my hand, it looks also like the grape hyacinth, just slightly bigger. So we'll continue on that. This paper I'm struggling with because I didn't tear it into pieces. Let me just do that quickly so that it's easy and pliable. I have a couple of days grow bags, so I could technically plant one more. I just need to go to the shop and get more soil, and I could have 2, because now I'm thinking I might have excess. This is like a stick in it. But we will see. So in total, this had 10 pieces in it. We are done with this as well. So I put around here for you to have an idea of the different things we have planted already. Okay, the next one I would go with is, let's see, I think I'll go with the daffodils or some tulips. So this, I know, is also a shorter type, 35 centimeters. So this is also a shorter variety of the tulips. And between tulips and daffodils. I'm going to plant the daffodils first, I did. Okay. I have already planted some, so I have a couple more. So this is how the daffodils will turn up. The daffodils technically are going to come up before the tulip most of the time, and maybe the hyacinths also. So I planted it such that they will have like different times of coming up, so they all don't come together in the same weeks and just die off. The daffodils usually come up earlier. Then we have we would have the hyacinth maybe next, then the grape hyacinth, and depending on the variety of tulip we can have it a bit later. So this is also a picture of the daffodils for you to have an idea. So I'll plant these. These are the sizes of the daffodils. Looks like the normal onions that we buy in the supermarkets. So that will go into the next level. And in total, the bag of the daffodils was like 40 pieces. I already planted some in containers like this. In containers like these that have this here to monitor the water level. I have planted a lot in it already. So this is basically excess of that. And oh, I didn't check the depth of the daffodils. I think that is like also 15. Let's see. Yeah, the depth is 15, the spacing is also 15, and it goes 30 to 40 centimeters. So I put it here for you to see the image in case you want to buy something and also plant it. Hyacinths, different colors. Continuing on with daffodils, planting 15 centimeters is deep, so it goes here. So I have a purple color, different shades, some of these, the daffodils. What I'm going to do is, since we are getting to the middle section, we've already filled this side, I'm going to put some of the, maybe 2 colors of the tulips, the longer ones, and I'm going to start with another bag of this. So this is up to 40 centimeters. I'll take one of these because I have another bag of the same thing. And then I'm going to find something else that is longer. This is like a different variety, if you'll see it. Oh. Similar colors, different variety. These are kind of thin, and this has like a bit more open petals. I'll put it here and there. Okay, so these are the ones that are up to 50 cm. I'm going to put it in the middle. It says is tulip happy family. I have a bag of 2, so I'm going to plant 1, and I'm going to plant some of these as well. So I'm going to mix these 2 colors. For the middle, this is up to, it goes up to 40 centimeters in height. This is up to 50 centimeters in height. Now I'm not sure where this came from, but it will be a tulip, so I will plant it somewhere. These are in total 10 pieces in it, so I have a couple of these. I think I have 3 bags of this purple. different types of the pink ones. So this is also the size, a bit smaller than the daffodils. And the depth is up to 10 centimeters depth, and the spacing is also, it's 10 centimeters. It's dark here. It's almost 6 p.m. after work hours, or maybe a bit after 6. I'm not sure. But then it's winter, so it's dark anyway. And I can do this either on weekends or after work. So Mama got to do what Mommy has to do. A couple more of these, then I go in with the large ones. The reason why it has to go a bit deep is we have strong winds in Netherlands, so else it just kind of breaks it apart. This is the last one we are going to go for this grow bag. Now I think I need maybe 2 grow bags. Initially I was targeting a size of like 70 to 80, but then the grow bag's a bit soft. Initially I bought like a metal one, but when it came it doesn't have a bottom, so I have to return it. And for that it was going to be 80, so I was hoping I have like one larger thing that is solid, and then I could kind of plant everything in it, and then the smaller ones. But now it looks like I would have to grow bags, so we will see. Same sizes, by the way. This is Tulip Happy Family. I bought these from Interaction, by the way. If you are interested, I don't know where you are watching from, but for tulips, if you don't have it natively in your country like we do here in the Netherlands, you can go online and order it from like your wholesaler garden center. They usually order it from Netherlands, because Netherlands grows, I think, most of the tulips in the world and exports them also. I think, I'm not sure, maybe like 80% of the world's export of tulips, if I'm not mistaken, but a large chunk of it. So you can get it from your garden center. This is also 10 pieces in this packaging. I have a couple more in the boxes and still some here, so definitely we would need 2 grow bags. And let's see. Find a space somewhere, put it. So yeah, this is what we kind of planted today. This has not been planted. This has to go into the next bag. But what I'm going to do is, now that I have this, cover it with more soil. So it needs to chill. It needs to be in the cold weather to freeze. Like, it's called a chilling period, not freeze, but cool down before it starts coming up. Because I delayed, you already saw some of them have the shoots coming up, so I've delayed a bit, but it's okay because they were out in the cold anyway, and it's cold. What I'm going to do is to top it up with a bit of soil. And this soil is wet because I had it sitting in the garden, so it rained on it for a couple of weeks. Yeah, the soil is wet and kind of stuck in this. What I'm going to do next is, before I get the next grow bag, I my initial plan was to have these containers, so the plan was that in spring I put this on a higher table, and these also like on a lower elevation table, so that it kind of forms like a circle, like with steps for the flowers. So I'm going to go in and do that as well. So we are going to do that on the table. I have different sizes. Basically these containers are from pots I bought with plants in them, so I'm just reusing it for the environment and for saving money, because these adds up quickly, plus the soil and fertilizers and everything. This pot's soil I'm using already contains nutrients for like 2 months, so that's why I didn't put in any fertilizer. So I'm going to put it here, and then I'm not going to line it with any bag because we're in winter, it rains crazy here, so I don't need to conserve water, else the bulbs are going to rot. If the bulb, it likes to cool and it wants like a muddy environment, but if it stays in water it rots as well, so it's like a healthy balance. It has like holes beneath, so then the water will drain. So God willing, in spring I will show you my small garden, but I think it's a big garden by Netherlands standards, because usually people have balcony gardens and small front yard garden. I try to maximize the space that I have, so I have things in containers that I can move around, and based on the season, if it's in bloom I can showcase it in front of my house or at my backyard, just sit down and enjoy it. And I have some in the ground just to maximize the space. And I always see people's gardens, especially those who garden from US, they have large plots of land, and I see a lot of variety and I like it. I go to the garden center and there's so much plants that I want to buy and bring home, but now I don't have space. So this is my creative way, because the space I made in the ground is full. I have to take things out, I have to move a lot of things around as well. So okay, this is good. I'll leave this one here and top it up a bit later. We are just going to do the same thing and plant these here. So I'm going to continue with the ones I had opened. This one, so as I was mentioning, because I didn't plant them early, it is already coming out, so I need to plant everything today, tomorrow, so that it gets a chance to really chill. So I'm going to just plant them, crowd them in here. And I'm going to add some of the purple one to it as well. So this is 50, this is 40. The 40 will come to the edges. And one interesting thing is the canals are started to freeze, so I had some water, a film of water on top of a barrel I have in my garden for storage, and it rained on top and I tried to open it and then it's just frozen. The water is frozen. I checked today when I was walking my kids to school, the canals in the neighborhood are frozen. I can maybe show you on a walk maybe in the next day. So it's really cold out here, and then if it continues to freeze maybe for 2 to 3 days, then people can do or go for ice skating on the canals, which is really pretty and dangerous to me, because if some kids try to kind of put sticks in it and it can break the frozen sheets, then there's a crack and you go into the water. So it depends on your risk tolerance, but then it's so fun to watch people ice skating in the neighborhood canal. So I have put in all the purple one as well. What I'm going to do is add some of the grape hyacinths. So this bag contains 75 pieces. That is quite a lot, so I can put something here. So it's kind of purple, then that is more like on the violet side. So I'll get at the end of the day, if it comes up, it should look like this. Yeah, these 3 color combinations, which is perfect. So yeah, this as I was mentioning, everything here is a perennial. I learned not to buy annuals. What I can consider as annuals are the tulips, which unfortunately my plan was to have little of this year and have more of the hyacinths and daffodils, but somehow I still have it. So this will come year in, year out. I already had some that I grew last year that I've seen the leaves are coming up in the front of my garden, it came up quite early than I expected. Sometime in December. It's still growing, and it's coming up from last year. I thought I removed everything from the ground to store it, and the ones I stored, what did I do with it? Oh, I already planted them in containers like those that I can show you at the end. So I'm going to put this one here. It looks like there is no more space for me to fit in it. Grape hyacinths, everywhere I poke my hand, it looks like there is something there. Yeah, so that I don't have to break the sheets coming up, I'm just going to top it up with soil. So one batch is done. I have this as well. Just pour in the soil. I need to find my scissors. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. I'm going to bring you things that make me happy, motivate me, that is not part of my 9-to-5 job. So something to keep you going. And I hope you would like and follow this. Things that makes me happy, and I hope it can also make you happy, bring you happiness, aside from the stress of our 9-to-5 jobs. So, like and subscribe for more. I'm just going to put this one here. I'm taking this a bit out so that when I plant it in, then I top it up, because this is longer than the, I think, or maybe the same level. So this is also done. I go in and get this is tulip agave, which is different from the one that I planted, which was tulip happy family. So this looks like a lighter pink version of this, and this goes up to also 40, and the tulip happy family is up to 50. So what I'm going to do is take some of the tulip happy family, and let's see another one. I'm looking for one that is also 40 with a different color. I can pick also this one or a mixture, or the other one. Let's see, this is also a different type. I'll pick this one because this I use the other bag of this for the other one so that this looks different. I will do that. So I will start with the 40 to the edges, and this one is from Best Sellers, which is different, but then they are all from Intratin. Depth of 10 centimeters, and the spacing is about 12 centimeters. Unfortunately, they don't tell me where I should expect it to bloom. That would have been nice to also do like a different combination. You don't want to plant all things that bloom at the same time together. You want to have different bloom times so that you can enjoy it for longer. So if something blooms in, oh, so yeah, as I mentioned, it's delayed, so they are all kind of half shoots, which means I have to plant quickly because I'm late. And I was saying something which I've forgotten. Oh yeah, I was saying if you know when it's going to bloom, it's better you plant out things that bloom at different times. So maybe one blooms 2-3 weeks earlier, or like a month. So like daffodils and hyacinths bloom earlier. You get a mix of those with tulips. And for the tulips also, we have early blooming tulips, middle time, and late blooming tulips. In this case, I don't know, they don't put it on it, nor on the website description, so I'm not sure. And for this I have 15 pieces, so which is great. So I have the purple in. The purple was 40 centimeters. I'm going to add something that is up to 50 centimeters. So I'm going to add a couple of these, a few of these, and then I'll add a tulip agave, which is also 40. I thought I had 3 of the tulips that go up to 45, but maybe it's still in the box, I'm not sure. So this goes into the middle section. What is here? Oh, there's a stick. You just take those things out. Oh, some were rotten. I don't know. I'm just going to plant it. They're like mold, but then plants are more resilient than we think. So now I'm going to grow some of the tulip agave, which reminds me of Portugal. Really beautiful area, the Algarve region. Faro, Lagos, Sagres, how you spell it, S-A-G, Sagres. Beautiful region of Portugal. And then, as you can see, this is really nice. And the Algarve region is a very pretty area in the south of Portugal, so it has the right name. And these are called Happy Family. They look quite happy. And these are tulip agave. It looks like they are all pinkish, but they are different. This one has like a slim tip with a bit of white at the ends, and this looks to be opening a lot. Fully pink. I would see how it comes up. I'll give you an update. And so I'm going to top it up with soil. And if the soil is kind of packed together, just loosen it on top. And this is also done. I put it aside. Next container. I don't make it too full because if I go and water it, I don't want the soil to spill on the floor, which I've learned the hard way. So just loosen up the soil. There are some organic matter like sticks and tightly packed together soil, which is difficult for the roots to go through. By the way, the roots are not deep, they are really shallow roots if you consider the roots at all. So this helps you to kind of easily take it out at the end of the blooming season. But then let me just loosen the soil. It's loose. I'm not sure what these are, but then I kind of poured it. So some type of tulip, we will plant it first, and then I'll get to the supermarket and close by and get more soil maybe tomorrow. So I can continue this tomorrow and show you. So we have this now. I'm going to grow some of the purple ones as well. This is called Tulipa Blue Beauty, and that is strange. As I got more familiar with different kind of plants, things that look purple, they are called blue. So if you are going to buy a flower you've never grown before that doesn't have the packaging and it says blue, be careful and double check, because it says blue but then it's a shade of purple. This look more like even violet, right? Whatever the difference between purple and violet. And all of those are called blues. So most of the things that are called blues are purples to violet shades, which is strange why they call them blue. And also these are two different types, right? This is also called Tulipa Blue Beauty if you've noticed, but then definitely it doesn't look blue to my eyes, but in the gardening world these are blues. So that is in. I'm going to get some Happy Family because I want it to come up long in this container, and I'll plant some short ones like this one, which is up to 35, and this really is pretty. Let me just pause to show you. I didn't go this type last year. I don't remember exactly what I grew, but I had some yellows then, some pinks, some purples. The pinks and yellows did really well. The purples were kind of shorter and smaller, and I think it was also the position I planted it. It didn't get too much sunlight, so it didn't come up really well. So now I'm going to put, that's why I'm also putting it in containers, and if it doesn't get sun I can just lift it and move it to a sunny place, as opposed to growing it in the ground and realizing, oh, that part of the garden doesn't get too much sun, because last year everything was quite new when I started, as a way to distress for my 9 to 5 plus kids, which can be stressful. I had a bag. Oh, this is done. So this and these are the same, but I have like a couple. So I'll put a few more of these inside here. Okay, not much. Oh, everywhere is full again. So I'll keep it for the next go bag. Top it up again with the last set of soil I have. I think I bought like 6 bags and I had like a half. And everything is done. I still need to top this up a bit with more soil when I go and get more. But guys, yeah, this is where we are at. This is what we will call a day here. Hopefully tomorrow morning I can get more and then continue with this. So you might see a night and a day when I continue with the second go bag. But in summary, let me just show you what I was able to accomplish today. I have this hyacinth, which is also called blue trophy, as I told you. This is tulip blue beauty, doesn't look blue. This is the hyacinth Delft blue. Oh, the Delft is also a city in Netherlands. That's, if I can say, the color of the city is blue because they make blue potteries and plates and things, which is a very nice Dutch city or large town. If it's not like a city, I don't know what you would call a city, but it has the historic architecture, the Middle Age architecture, unlike Rotterdam that is very modern because it was blown up in World War II. So we have the skyscrapers. It has the medieval charm, Delft. And this is also another hyacinth I planted today, which is called Purple Star. So these are empty, but let me just put them, I don't know, here to kind of as a recap to show you what we have grown today. And then this, so I'm going to put them out. It's either going to rain today or tomorrow, but I'm going to put them out and then I'm going to water it and I'm going to show you in a moment. Everybody, so this is what it's going to be. Just put it at the backyard of my house and then wait for it to go. So I already have certain things that I took out. This is Brunella that is going to come up in spring, beautiful blue flowers, but now it's at the end of its season, it's dead. Everything leaves and dies, so now it's just going away. I'm surprised that I still have some green, but then as it gets colder and the snow comes in, I expect this to go away. So I'm just going to water this. And then I'll top it up with soil, hopefully tomorrow when I get some for the supermarket close by because they sell pot soil. And then I'll just top it up and do the second go bag. And then I'll update you as it comes up. As you already seen, the sprout is coming out. It's cold, my nose is watering. So I'll just end it here, everybody. And so that I can go inside because now it's really cold here. And so yeah, thank you everybody for watching today's episode. This is just a glimpse of my backyard garden. It's January, but then I'm still having my Christmas lights and everything. At least up until the end of December. So sorry, up until the end of January. I'm still in the Christmas season. The lights brings me so much joy. Decoration brings me so much joy. So I'll have it here, and the ones I can keep till April, I'm going to keep. Thank you once again for watching today's video. Just a quick look at what I planted I told you about. Basically daffodils, the grape hyacinths, some tulips as well, some hyacinths. There is nothing on the hydrangea, so I hung some Christmas ornaments on it just for the Christmas season, but then it's just going to spring up again in April. This is also another hydrangea that I didn't take the leaves out, but the flowers out, but these I did. So we would see. I have my rose planted here, a climbing rose. Everything seems lag at this point, but hopefully in April we will see the growth. So all these are the containers I wanted to show you of the daffodils I've planted, because I had to try and plant that a bit earlier because I expect them earlier in March and in April than the rest. Even some can come up in late February. So yeah, basically this is it. Again, the grove bags. As my Christmas decoration is still going strong. So thank you everybody for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye bye for now.